So today we're back with another rotation video. This one took a while to put together, I guess, which is why it's been doing some hero battle recently, and also this deck is pretty difficult to play, so it took a while for me to get some good games and also get used to playing it so I can actually have some idea of what I'm doing. This is a Ladica list. It is from the recent, well, maybe not that recent, it is from Dayan's video. The Dayan is of course a Japanese forest main. He plays a ton of forest. Unfortunately, I don't have the skill and knowledge to build my own Ladica deck, and besides, this one is based on the one that won the JCG a little while ago, so I thought I'd give it a try. So this is the list we'll be playing today. It is interesting list. It is mainly Ladica, pure Ladica, so it has the natura cards. It has Beastfolk Gatherer, and it has a Nataran piece, it has Greenleaf Sprite. Well, it always has Nataran piece, but it also has Greenleaf Sprite. So some of these Nataran followers that you don't generally run in the Iris version, but it also runs Iris. So the way this deck works is that its main focus is on the regular Ladica package, but we run some Iris pieces inside it so that we can also go for the Iris OTK strategy if we want. So that is the main idea of the list. I guess being able to get earlier lethals is more makes it more reliable against stuff like Machina Rune and Wrath Blood, because it's pretty hard to survive long enough against them, while running the regular Ladica package allows you to get some lethals before they even get to OTK you. So yeah, it's a pretty decent list. I mean, well, it's not decent, it's a good list, I think. I mean, I had success playing it, so I think it's a good list. So yeah, let's just jump in some games and try and figure out how this deck works, I guess. So for our first match, we are up against Portal, and we are going second here. Portal is very likely to be Artifact. There is like Machina, of course, but that's less likely. Since we're going second, I do like that. Since we're going second, I do like Asuka and Shuri, so we do keep that. Loving Embrace is always a keep just because it helps you draw Nataran cards and also give you trees for 0, which is always valuable for trying to get not OTKs, but trying to find your lethals. And then Ladica Princess is just nice going second, it helps you draw into the deck. So mainly the Mulligan, we just look for card draw and we look for early Nataran cards we can use. Mainly Loving Embrace and Nataran Peace are the ones that I look for in the early game. I do like to keep Avatar of Growth depending on the matchup. Against Portal, I like to keep Avatar of Growth because it's likely to come in handy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try to draw our cards, get a 0-cost Nataran tree. We do pick up the Avatar of Growth, which is nice here. We don't really need the Lily against this matchup. The only Storm card they actually have is Radiant Artifact, so the Lily's not gonna do much. Just Lazuli from them, and we do have the Avatar of Growth, so we should go ahead and use that. I do like Avatar of Growth against Artifact for 2 reasons. The first is to answer Lazuli early on, and the second, perhaps more pressing reason, is to have an answer for Evamia's damage shield, because Artifact has a lot of damage shield, and the only way for Ladica to actually get through damage shields is generally with the Avatar of Growth, so that's why I do like having it. So we do have Ladica now. We have a 0-cost Nataran Great Tree as well, so all we have to do is just look for more Nataran cards, I guess. So we're going to go ahead and use the Asuka and Shuri to draw here. Ladica Princess will reduce the amount of damage coming to our face as well as draw more. We have enough to go for 1 round of Ladica, but generally if we're not going for the Iris combo, which having not drawn Iris, we're probably not going for the Iris combo, we're gonna try to go for the Ladica combo. The Ladica combo generally is you play Ladica once, get the spell, and then hit face and then bounce her, and then you play her again and use the spell twice on the next turn. Is how Ladica lethals work. You don't really have a 1-turn lethal without Iris, so that is the game plan here. The Aegil is pretty weak turn from them, so that's fine. And they have the Radiant Artifact as well. We're gonna take a bit of damage here, but we're looking to kill them within the next 2 turns, so we're not that worried about the damage. So of course we go ahead and start off with the Ladica here just to deal the damage to their face. We go ahead and open up the tree, play the 4 Nataran card, so she will evolve. And then here, normally you would play something like Nature's Guidance and bounce her, but since we have the second Ladica in hand anyway, we're just gonna go ahead and use Innata Resolve to clear the board and then hit them in the face. And this sets up for our lethal next time. We fuse as well to make sure we have hand space to draw the card from the Rafflesia spell. I mean the Rafflesia leader effect. So unfortunately for us here, we don't have a way to get the tree next turn because we don't have. If we had a 0 cost tree, we would be able to get the avatar growth next turn, but we don't. So if they do put up the Avana here, we might have to delay our lethal for 1 more turn. But since we do have another United Resolve, we should be able to handle 1 more turn. We also have Asuka and Sherry to heal. We can try to look for well, this one doesn't heal yet, but we can try to look for more pieces so that we can set up for a lethal on the following turn. But since they don't seem to have Ivamia here, I think we can just kill it next turn, right? So there is the Electric Rhino as well. We trade the Analyzing Artifact. And then there's Lazuli, so they don't have Ivamia. Even if they had Ivamia, I would probably find for 1 more turn, so it's fine. But since they don't have Ivamia here, we can just go ahead and finish them off. So we go ahead and go for Ladica here. And then we go ahead and play the Inherent World tree. Then pop a tree. Play the Inherent piece. Now here it's important to note here. Normally for your Ladica combo you just play a tree here, but if you play a tree here then you will only have enough PP to play Back to Nature once. Because the tree will recover your 1 PP and then you'll get 1 copy of Back to Nature from Ladica, right? So in order to play around that, we just have to play Back to Nature here. And then Ladica will recover the 1 play point we spent, and then she will evolve and give us another Back to Nature. And that's how the 2-turn Ladica lethal works, so this important combo to keep in mind and learn how to play. So yeah, let's move on to the next game. So next game we have against Shadow here, and we're going second again. First time I've heard that leader speak, I think, or first time I listened to it. So we keep the Rafflesia since we're going second here. It might help against white boards, which Machina does like to do, so we can go ahead and keep that. And then the rest of our cards should be spent looking for Natura. Got the Loving Embrace here, definitely very nice pickup here. There's the hoverboard piece there from the opponent, so this is definitely Machina. Of course, we'll go ahead and use Loving Embrace here. We fuse the United Resolve. Nature's Guidance is pretty useful against Shadow, and also considering our hand, we might need to use it for a card draw anyway, so we do keep the Nature's Guidance here. Hit us in the face, there's the Ania, that's fine. Go ahead and draw. We pick out another Rafflesia, so let's go ahead and spend 1 now. If we look at our next turn, we want to play Beastfolk Gatherer and evolve it. So Rafflesia, we could play it next turn, but we want to look for other things we can play, hopefully. So we do play Rafflesia now. The effect will continue to the next turn anyway, so we will still get the draw out of her, so that's fine. So pick up the Avatar Growth here, so we're just going to go ahead and activate that. We could play Beastfolk Gatherer and evolve it, and that will allow us to use Ladica next turn, but there's not really any rush against Machina. Their safest lethal turns are like turn 9, and our lethal turn is the turn 8, so we're not super in a rush to kill them that quickly, so we're fine not going for Beastfolk Gatherer because setting up the Avatar Growth will help us answer their boards better. They go for the Lubell here, which interesting play, I guess. I guess they can. I mean, it does give them more Anias if the 3-4 nuts trigger the correct effect. So now we're gonna go ahead and pick out our 0 cost Inherent World tree while we're here. Go ahead and use the tree. And just try to draw further into our deck to find out Natura cards, or rather not draw. We're gonna use the we use it to pop their Lubell here. There was actually not, well, there's not technically any reason to fuse, but I guess getting a bit of damage here is fine. We do have the Goddess of Compassion here, so after Goddess of Compassion going for a 2-turn Ladica lethal, actually generally against Machina anyway, going for 2-turn Ladica lethals aren't super reliable, so we are probably gonna go for the Iris lethal here. Or so I say, but I guess we're gonna apply some damage pressure, so we go ahead and play a Ladica here, I guess. Spirit Beam, evolve it, hit them in the face. It's unlikely that this will work though if you look at my opponent. Well, they're only at 7, so maybe it's possible, but they're still a little bit far from that Ania activating. We go ahead and recover the Ladica here, so we can use it next turn, and also for Iris lethal. We fuse the Rafflesia. At this point we probably don't need Rafflesia, right? That's fine. There's the shared goal, so this will get them enough Machina that they can play Ania. There's the Zombo Droid, that's fine. There's the Ania as well. And then Succession of Balance. Interesting that they didn't play Succession of Balance first in order to give the assembly droid last words as well, but maybe that's on purpose. So they do have the damage shield, they have a bunch of wards. We definitely can't kill them with Ladica now, but we pick up the Lily here, so we can go ahead and first drop Asuka and Shiori. Go ahead and use the Lily. Check our fusion. We're definitely fine here at like 3 different cards views. Go ahead and use the Lily here. The Lily will transform the roly-poly, and then we trade into the Dumbo Droid here, and then we go ahead and bounce the Asuka and Shiori. So we can go set up a nice board lock here for them. Let me go ahead and use the Loving Embrace as well, just to draw into our deck. We have to find more pieces to look for lethal. We've had 4 cards fused now, so we just have to fuse Iris here, and then we will be done for our Ladica lethal next turn. We go ahead and chip down. We've chipped down the Zombo Droid, and we've gotten rid of the roly-poly as well, so getting lethal should be much more manageable. I fused the Back to Nature here because, I mean, we have 2 Ladicas anyway. We're definitely not short for Back to Nature, so we can go ahead and just fuse one of them. Opponent doesn't have Night Terrors or any way to unlock their own board, so they're just stuck standing here. So yeah, we just locked their board, and now this turn we have a card. We can also fuse Greenleaf Sprite if we didn't draw the ticket, but since we draw the ticket, we're just gonna fuse the ticket here. And we can go ahead and set up Ladica. And second Ladica as well. And there's the Greenleaf Sprite here. Technically the correct trade would have been here, but it really does not matter at all. So yeah. And then there's the Greenleaf Sprite as well. At this point we're just going for a gratuitous super lethal. We go ahead and trade the Greenleaf Sprite here, and that'll summon out our avatar. And we can go ahead and trade that into the Zombo Droid. Get rid of the damage shield. We go ahead and use the tree again. Got another avatar growth, we're just gonna use that. At this point I'm just doing this for the maximum damage. There's not really any reason to go this far, really. I have enough, so we've got the Spirit Beam, we're gonna play that as well. We have enough play points to actually play the Netheran World Tree as well, but I guess I just didn't want to. So yeah, we go ahead and stack Back to Nature onto the Ladica. We go ahead and stack another Back to Nature on the Ladica, and then we just completely overkill them with a nice 42 damage. So yeah, let's move on to the next game. So next game we are playing here is going to be the mirror match, and we are going first here against Ladica. Generally, whoever gets the combo first just wins. Lily doesn't do too much to help you against Ladica, since Ladica is one big punch of damage, so the -2 is relatively ineffectual in the case of against Ladica. So we're gonna just try to get our combo here, so we just go ahead and look for our combo pieces. So we're just gonna go ahead and use the World Tree to dig into our deck. Got the Greenleaf Sprite, not really useful at this point. So then place the World Tree as well, so we're basically playing the same few turns right now, but we're gonna have to try to draw deeper into our deck, so we go ahead and play the Desert Wanderer. We could use Iris here, but Iris might come in handy if neither side draws the lethal, so we go ahead and bounce the Desert Wanderer here. This accomplishes 2 things. First of all, it gives us more draw opportunities with Desert Wanderer itself. It also denies them a trade target for the Avatar of Growth if they have it, but they just play Iris here. Since they played the Iris out, we do want to clear it on the off chance that it becomes relevant later on. Rafflesia Princess isn't relevant in the mirror, especially when you're going second. I mean, especially when you're going first. It's very hard to have more evil points than your opponent, so we just go ahead and get rid of the Rafflesia here. And then just play a few cards here just to draw into our deck and clear the Iris, so they can't bounce it and get more value out of it. We have Beastfolk Gatherer here, which will get us a 0-cost tree, but unfortunately we still lack the Ladica, so my opponent is ramping with the Gods of Compassion, so it looks like they are going all in on the Iris strategy, and they're not really playing the Natura package card. So we can try to kill them by turn 7. If we can draw Ladica here, hopefully. We go ahead and get rid of the Beastfolk Gatherer. At this point we already have a 0-cost tree, so it's not really useful anymore, so we'll just get rid of that. We have the Loving Embrace here, which is fine. We go ahead and bounce the Iris here in case we need to make use of it for turn 8 lethal. We go ahead and use the Greenleaf Sprite just to make space in our hand. And also to get Iris's fusion active. And there's the Michelle, so yeah, they are just all in on Iris. They're a pure Iris strategy that doesn't run very many natura cards and has a low ability to kill us before turn 8. Can bounce it again, I guess. So unfortunately we don't have Ladica here. You could play the 0-cost tree to try to draw Ladica here, but that's like a bit too much maybe. So I chose to play it safe, I guess. Hard to consider which one is actually the safer bet here though. Go ahead and bounce the Desert Wanderer here just to draw into our deck more. Pick up the Ladica here. Unfortunately, very late for this Ladica. Go ahead and fuse into our hand as well so we can make space. And there's their Iris as well. They go ahead and play the Asuka and Shiori. And then they go ahead and play Avatar Grove, which will trade into our Desert Wanderer. There's the Michelle. And then so here is an interesting spot because they are ahead on PP of me. They are ahead of me, and they don't run they run very few natura cards, so the chances of their lovely what is that card called? Something Embrace, you know, that 2-cost card. Let me find it. This one, Loving Embrace. The chance of their Loving Embrace drawing Ladica is very high, so if I let them get the next turn, they might just kill me here. But unfortunately for me, I don't have a way to lethal them from 20, especially with not enough trade targets for Avatar of Growth. If they had more trade targets, I could trade 2 Avatars of Growth as well as use Lonely Pass and probably find a lethal that way, but unfortunately they play around it by leaving their board empty-ish. But also because their board is like this, what we can do is just lock them here. So if you've played the Iris Ladica deck, you are aware that you play Iris and then you play Ladica, right? So if they do that, their board is completely full. So if they don't have any bounce effects, I'm completely safe. Of course there is the consideration of if they have bounce effects, I'm dead, but like if they had bounce effects, I'm dead anyway no matter what I do. So what I do is actually just go ahead and fuse into Iris here and just pass turn and lock them to refrain from giving them space to play their Ladica. Someone plays the Iris here. They could have chosen not to play the Iris here, but honestly I could have just passed another turn if they did that, so that would have been fine for me as well. They do play Loving Embrace here. They played that 0-cost tree as well, and they played the Lily. I guess they're trying to stop us from getting lethal here, but we are completely fine. Oh, we're actually not completely fine. It's not guaranteed lethal. Oh, well, it is guaranteed lethal now that they've played followers for us, I guess. So go ahead and play the Iris here. Put down the Ladica. And we go ahead and use the Avatar of Growth here. Go ahead and trade both Avatars of Growth just to deal more damage. And we go ahead and use our tree. And we go ahead and use one more tree here, and this second tree will give us the Avatar of Growth back. Of course, I'm lazy to do the math usually, so I just go for as much damage as possible to make sure that my opponent is dead. Go ahead and trade that. There's the Terran piece as well. Let me go ahead and fuse into Lonely Pass just to deal more damage here. Got another Avatar Growth. We go ahead and use the Lonely Pass here, and then we finish off with Back to Nature. Well, we can play this. We can play more cards as well, but I guess we just go for the lethal here. So yeah, that's it for this game as well. So that's it for the games I have for you today. I feel like this deck is pretty strong, and it's definitely very fun to play, so I would recommend it if you are interested. The problem with the deck is of course that it's quite difficult. It's also a bit expensive. It requires a ton of legendaries. If you don't have Ticket of Gnarled Hands, you can just replace it with like a Fairy Stream or something, but I do like Ticket more, so I do run the Ticket here. And then yeah, it's a ton of legendaries, but it's a very fun deck. It's very rewarding to play. I like that it has 2 different game plans you can take, so you can go for early game lethals with you can go for a turn 5-6 2-turn lethal early on with Ladica, or you can go for the turn 8 Iris lethal. I like that both plans are available to you at a relatively decent consistency. Of course, it's not always that you get 2-turn lethals with Ladica, but it's at least more consistent than running the pure Iris version. So this is my personally preferred deck, I guess, if you're playing Ladica. So yeah, definitely give it a try if you want. You can learn how to play. It's pretty fun to play. So yeah, and it's also pretty strong. You can definitely climb. I climb a decent amount, like with just trying to get footage for this video. So yeah, it's definitely quite strong. So yeah, that's it for today's video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.